living building challenge, right? So how does that fit in? So we got the LEED rating system, we got the well for the people in the space. How does the LBC fit into that equation?
Right, so Living Building Challenge is, I believe, the most stringent green building standard out there on the market.
Is it that's the toughest one, huh?
It's the toughest one to design to because it requires net positive energy, net positive water, all materials within the space to be red list free, the building to be beautiful, for it to consider how far did you collect the materials that are used within the space,
So
let
the
alone
closer
red
the
list
better
free.
versus-
The closer the better. You actually have requirements of you must source locally.
Okay.
To build that building. And you only can source a certain percentage outside of a certain radius within the LBC space. So really, really complicated to consider. But that being said, the difference between well and LEED is that they have a certain amount of either preconditions for well or optimization points that you have to achieve, or LEED, you have to achieve a certain amount of credits to achieve a certain amount of points. Living Building Challenge, the reason why it's really hard is because it's all or nothing. You can't halfway do it unless you pursue pedal certification. So
pedals.
LBC, Living Building Challenge, is built on the metaphor of a flower. So it's really inspiring beauty, rebirth in the same place. And a flower actually doesn't use more energy than it takes. It gives back, and it really exists well within the ecosystem. It's not just taking over an ecosystem, it's a part of the ecosystem. And that's what the Living Building Challenge concept is. So in each of the categories, they actually have 7 pedals that make up the Living Building Challenge rating system. Within each pedal are certain imperatives that a project must achieve in order to meet the requirements of Living Building Challenge. So when I say pedal certification, they choose to just do the materials pedal certification.
And that's where we live in the materials.
Right. So they would have to source only red list free materials as a part of that project if they want to achieve materials pedal certification. There's net zero waste associated within an imperative within the materials pedal and other imperatives that they must achieve.
So all this sounds, and I get this from customers sometimes, or when we start talking, they want to do some of these strategies. They have their own sustainable strategies. They want to invest and implement these standards. But some of the hurdles that come up is cost. All this sounds great, right? It all sounds great to people in space.
Yeah.
Sounds like the right things to do, but then is it expensive? What's the cost? There's got to be a catch, right?
Yeah.
So how do we address that? And we have the products for it, but how do we help them to realize the return?
Yeah. So in terms of green building, and specific to Superior Essex, so we hear that a lot, that, it sounds like it's going to cost more because you have these sustainability initiatives. A lot of companies have tacked on extra fees because they've invested in sustainability.
Right.
For us, in terms of EPDs and HPDs and our contribution to LEED, our contribution to well, there is no additional fees. It is our normal products. It's our products that we manufacture all the time. We've invested in transparency and optimization to reduce our impact, both health and environmental. It's price parity. There's no increased costs. However, in terms of red list free, there are some fees associated with that due to the fact that we've had to optimize our products and use a material in a jacketing. Generally, cables made out of PVC. We've had to eliminate PVC from our cabling, in which case that raw material just costs more, and we can't not charge more. But it's really in terms of the riser setting. So there's low smoke halogen free jacketing material in the riser setting.
Come up more and more.
Yes, so low smoke, zero halogen or low smoke halogen free. It's generally about 1.5 to 2 times more expensive than our general PVC.
Okay. So some product cost.
Little product cost, again, due to the raw materials. But in the plenum setting, we have FEP jacketed material that, again, is red list free. However, that material is significantly more expensive than the PVC to get the burn rating to make sure the product is meeting code requirements. So that product is 4 times more expensive, but in the overall cost of a project, investing in red list free optimization to meet these customers' requirements, really in the grand scheme of things is not too much more expensive.
No, it's going to allow them to meet their goals.
Right.
In an area that traditionally has not been a component of meeting those goals.
Right.
And now it is.
Right.